Yes, I lost. If I could even recognize myself anymore.
Wow.
Yes, it was that I just
This cute you. So who brought you back from that? When I gave birth to him, they came. I didn't even know the person. She was a nurse, dressed in a nurse fit, and she was like, "Oh, I have questions for you. How are you?" She asked some questions. I didn't know it was leading up to one. She said, "Do you feel like you want to hurt yourself or the baby?"
if someone had told me it's okay if your child doesn't get breast milk, then give the child formula, it would have solved a lot of my problem. I feel like even from third trimester my depression started.
Okay.
Right, and then into the whole thing, it was just a whole lot for me, and it really consumed me.
Proverbs 31. On this podcast, we're about discovering yourself, thriving, and empowering you. As parents, as mothers, we have to build ourselves up to be able to parent effectively whilst we thrive. Welcome to Alpha Mama Podcast. Hey Mama, welcome to the Alpha Mama Podcast. Here, we're not just going to talk about the struggles, the triumphs, and the beautiful experience that is motherhood. We're going to talk about how the mom can thrive. We're talking about the mother. The mom is the heart of the family. She's the heart of society. And when she's good, everybody gets good. So join me as we go on this beautiful experience of self-care and self-prioritization. We're not trying to make it all about us. We're special, yeah. We're trying to get better at what we do. And what we're trying to do is not abandon ourselves. Motherhood has sacrifice as one of the top qualities of what makes a good mother, but it is not just about sacrifice. The mother is a person and she deserves to be all that she can be for herself and then for her family. So join me with my guest today, Oluwaseun. Hi, darling. Hey, mama.
Hey, mama. Oh
Welcome,
my God.
Seun.
Thank you so
I'm
much for
so
having
excited
me. Same
to have
here.
you here.
Same here.
Today we're talking about something interesting. First, we're going to do a mini introduction. You're an alpha mom,
Yes.
a alpha mama.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
First things first. I'm sure that's one of the titles you hold in high esteem. But you
Yeah.
have many other things. You are passionate about other women and helping them become more of what. And that's why you were like one of the people we had to have in this room to discuss this topic in particular.
Yeah.
Breaking free from societal expectations. Oluwaseun, I'm sure you're a good mom already, and I like that you're glowing even in motherhood.
Thank
I just
you.
had to say that. Yeah. Yeah. What does motherhood mean to you?
Wow, I don't think anyone has asked me that actually. What does motherhood mean to me? Okay, I think first thing, like you said in your opening remarks, motherhood is kind of about sacrifice.
Okay.
Right? Because I think even from the moment you decide to have that child, you are choosing. Someone said a statement, and I've always held it. A mother lays down her life so that she can bring life. Because women actually die from childbirth. So
Yeah.
you've thought of, let me put my own comfort, my own well-being aside,
My
just so that I
body.
can bring life into this world. And then
Yes.
from the moment that child comes, it's character stops being about you.
Yeah.
And I think I love this podcast because it's also trying to also help women remember themselves and not totally forget who they are. But motherhood, if you're not careful, can become too much of you just putting yourself into it and forgetting yourself. So yes, motherhood is sacrifice, but motherhood is also beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Yes, it is hard,
Yes.
but it also makes you strong.
Yes. Yes.
So motherhood is a mix of everything you can ever imagine.
Yes.
Right? But yeah, I think that's just how I'll say motherhood
Yeah.
is. You can't give it one word.
You can't give it one word. It's an experience that you can't even put in words.
Yeah.
I remember what you just said now makes me remember one book we read in secondary school. I'm sure, I guess you read it too. Joys of Motherhood.
Yeah.
And it was totally not Joys of Motherhood. It was the story of the destruction of a
motherhood.
woman.
Yeah.
How motherhood just literally destroyed her. Like, I used to question why that was a topic, like the title of the book. How is this the title? Because she struggled. It was pain. It was torture. And I think that story was one of the stories that like shaped how I saw motherhood. Like, because some stories stick with you. And I just saw it like, okay, this is what happens. Yes, when you become a mom. So enjoyment is not for you.
Oh my God.
And I took it on. Like, I just took it on. Like, okay, I'm already like the first daughter. So like, okay, if I decide I want to have children. So the choice for me was either deciding not to have children, or if I'm going to have them, just lay my life down. Like, now, no more
Yejide. All for you.
Yes, all for you. And
oh my God.
was that the experience for you too? Entering into motherhood.
More entering into motherhood. So yes, I think so. Another thing about motherhood, subconsciously, nobody tells you, but everybody automatically does that as a mother. You automatically just sacrifice your life, and it takes maybe most times even the people around you, because you yourself don't realize that's what you are doing. So it probably takes the people around you that actually care about you to wake you up and tell you that you are losing yourself. You are becoming another person. As much as, yes, a new person is born. Once you become mother, a new version of you comes out. But if you're not careful, you could forget some things about the old version and completely just be this new person. So like you asked, yes, if I could even recognize myself anymore. Yes, it was that I just...
This cute you.
This
shining you.
I lost myself. I didn't even know myself anymore, simply because I became...
So who brought you back from that?
So I mean, my husband literally fought for me to come out of that state. It was a lot, really. Sorry,
I said cheers to good husbands.
Cheers. No.
They need their words.
I agree. Literally fought for me, and I mean, I myself, like I said, I couldn't recognize myself anymore, and I didn't like, I wasn't enjoying the person at that, because I was really depressed. Like, I was very, very depressed.
Postpartum.
Yes, it was. Yes, I feel like even from third trimester, my depression started.
Okay.
Right, and then into the whole thing, it was just a whole lot for me, and it really consumed me. But I got to a point I told myself, nah, I can't go on like this. I can't. I was always falling sick. You go to the hospital, there's nothing wrong with you. What you are dealing with is mental. It's not. It's no longer physical. You are falling sick every time. There's nothing wrong with you. You just need to do what is going on in your head and all of that, right?
And I think, sorry to cut you.
No, go ahead, please.
That we need more support for the mental part of.
Oh my God.
Before birth and
after. I totally
agree. I think it's almost non-existent in Nigeria. I feel like when we talk about mental health, everybody think you are going mad, or you have a problem, like you are just soft. But abroad, when I had my oldest son, when I gave birth to him, they came. I didn't even know the person. She was a nurse, dressed in a nurse fit, and she was like, "Oh, I have questions for you. How are you?" She asked some questions. I didn't know it was leading up to one. She said, "Do you feel like you want to hurt yourself or the baby?" My mother said, "Egbamio."
What is this one?
Egbamio. Please. So I said no. And I was like asking myself, like, even if I felt like that, would I say it? As a Nigerian that I am, you don't want to expose yourself like that. We have a way of feeling shame about the fact that we are struggling at some point. So I was like, no, thankfully, no at that point. But, I just feel like in Nigeria, we need to also have that, because some moms are going through it already.
I agree.
Motherhood comes with this thing, its own mental struggles, like you said. I have another question. This one that I want to ask you. What is the number one cultural expectation that society has of a mom that you would like to, if you could, you just say, bam, I don't want to hear this thinking. Nobody should say it. Nobody should do it. What will it be?
This is a question I have to think about.
Okay, while you are thinking.
Okay.
Should I give you a break or should we continue?
Give me a minute. Okay. Cultural expectation. There's a lot to.
That one that when you read about it, you're like,
I think the first thing I'll is maybe breastfeeding.
Okay.
The cultural expectation, everybody needs to exclusive. I mean,
okay.
You need. And maybe because for me, that was one thing I really suffered from. You know, I mean, we're talking about this before.
Yes.
Right? It was one thing that I feel like if someone had told me, it's okay if your child doesn't get breast milk, then give the child formula. It would have solved a lot of my problem in the early days.
It would have.
So for I think for me, maybe that maybe was my biggest, struggle and challenge. And I understand how exclusive breastfeeding helps your child. Don't get me wrong. If you can, I'm not against it.
Yeah.
Right? If you can, if you want to, if you desire it, please go ahead and do it. But let's stop looking at women that
cannot.
Do it and no. Exactly.
I think people think that women that are not doing exclusive, all of them just decided not to. No, some women can't even produce milk.
Yes, I agree. Some women really struggle with these things.
Sometimes the baby cannot latch.
Yes.
I remember because of what you just said, my first son, for like 4 days, he could not latch for breast milk. So it was a struggle. But you know, abroad now, immediately they brought milk, they've given us me, I wanted to do African mother. No. The people, they said, give this boy. If he does not gain weight, you're not living here. So I had to start giving him formula. When we came to Nigeria, we faced, she's exclusive, ni. You're not doing exclusive. You know, a lot of questions, like everybody poking. But because I felt like I had information from another point of view, it helped me to just calm down and boldly say, I'm not doing that. Because the breast milk, my son can, he eats. So I just didn't even try. Oh my God, I just continued, and it's fine and healthy.
And health is okay. See, I wish they told me, man.
We wish.
Honestly. But I just want to hear your thoughts on that question. What is the one culture? I think all the culture, in fact, I think for another thing I'll say is the method. The way taking care of children. So, I mean, just like medicine, every year there's new information, right? People are learning new things. That's the ways our mothers used to, for example, I remember when I had my daughter, right? And they were saying that she used lantern to burn her, or our umbilical cord and all of that. I wasn't comfortable with it. I can understand that in that age and time, I mean, the medicine available, what you even know, it could not work. So you had to use what's best for you. That's not what I want to do for my child. I'm not being unreasonable.
Yes.
Like, I'm not doing too much.
Yes.
Do you understand? All those carry baby up.
Yes, with the leg up.
Press the hot water.
Yes.
Even me, I didn't let them touch my tummy. That presses, but for me, I'm not against that one because I realized I helped some women. I was just scared. I mean, I'd gone through CS. I didn't like my body. In fact, even my own mother, she would come to the room and bath me. I said, go away.
Oh my God.
Don't look at me. Do you understand? Yes. So I was really ashamed. And then I was in a lot of pain. I didn't feel comfortable. You'll not be me that I'm still trying to gather. You're not going to.
Yes.
I didn't want that. And around my in-laws, you call me. People take from my husband. But I'm just say, what do you want? No problem. It's what you want. Do you understand? Thankfully for that, he was in support of it. But because I didn't want it, he respected. Didn't want it. Like, I'm not against that one because I realized I helped some women. But there's just so many patterns, different ways things are done. And then people are not doing that now. It's okay. Mothers.
Yes.
Respect people's boundary. Respect what I know that the way you took away your 4 children was that way. Nobody
and they are alive and thriving.
Then you say that's I took
that worked for you.
That works for you. Respect the mom.
Yes.
This is her own time. This is her own prime. Let her be a mother too. Advice, because the mother too doesn't want to harm the child.
No,
she wouldn't want to say or do something that will put the child in harm's way.
No.
And because at some point it was looking as if I'm not the mother again. Like,
I
hate my child. Like, it was
you love the child more than me.
I was the child. Like, they were interviewing me to be sure if I was capable enough to take care of my own child. Do you understand?
What? Like, there's a way to support people without making them feel like low about, like, because they are self-confident. They are new to this. They know what, like, as they go, they will find their way. Let them be comfortable coming to you for advice. Let them not feel judged first. Because even if it was good advice, if you feel judged, you would not receive it well.
Exactly.
You would not receive it well. And I remember you asked that, what do I think the one, I feel like CS, the stigma around CS is astronomically Can I say madness?
It's madness, please.
PM, can I say madness? It's madness.
It's madness.
It's madness. In 2024,
Jesus.
I have a story, and I will say it. I won't waste your time. My dear, when I wanted to give birth to my son, so it was what was that thing you said they did to you when
induced?
They induced me when I wanted to give birth to my first son, because like it was like over 40 weeks. And we did it for like 2 days. It didn't work. So yes, then at that point I was beginning to have, like, I couldn't breathe. Jesus. Then the baby too could not breathe, so I was on oxygen. God. But you know
imagine it.
Yes, so I couldn't. So when now they cannot force you to do, and they will just come. Excuse, like, we advise that you can do CS, like look for another way. Or I was just like, no, I don't want to do CS. Let's just try and wait for the natural. But when I saw oxygen, nobody told me that.
You that. Oh, you're going to die.
A child that you waited for 3 years. Don't do yourself. Like God, I feel like it was just God that just helped me, because I was so, when you have told yourself, like, because you just feel like CS, I don't know who told me that, but it's just society. Like, when you give birth, you want to give testimony. I'm Hebrew mother. When I went into I glorify God for those that did like that, so I wish I did. But that's not the story of every mom out there. And we should be comfortable with being able to shift our mindsets for what will work for us. Imagine I was like,
I want to do natural.
Yes, I must do that natural. Way. That's the only way. God forbid a bad thing. We thank God for so, and now it's not just moms deciding that they don't, even society, they are there to judge you. So, and some people want to impress people. They want to abroad. It's not even if you need it alone. You can decide. Even in Nigeria, you can decide
that, yes, I'm just coming in, just to have
for CS.
Yes.
And there's no shame.
What's shameful about it? Are you not alive? People die. Like, just last week, I know someone that still had a lady in a neighborhood that died from childbirth in 2024.
God rest her soul.
Like, people are literally dying from this thing. So you're telling me that
yes.
I have an option to save my life.
Yes, come out with a baby.
Because they will judge
yes.
fire well.
They are not judging you. Don't let them do you with their own. No. When it comes to their turn, they will choose what is best for them.
Honestly.
Don't let them,
Honestly.
Don't, CS is not the only way. And exclusive, just like you said, that one too annoys me so much. Then the Agbo culture that we have. Everything is Agbo. Everything, I don't like it. And I say it has caused some tension in some families where maybe mom brings her agbo, then you say don't give, then it looks like your own mom, the grandma of the child, now feels like, oh, am I trying to hurt your child? No, I just don't want to give my child agbo. I just don't want to give my child agbo.
A baby that died because they gave the baby agbo. It was a newborn, and the mother kept saying don't give. So now imagine that situation as a mother. Don't give.
It now looks like
the child did not die.
The grandmother, I'm sure she felt like hell, because that was not her intention. I hope. Let's hope. See the way you said?
Because
but I don't think. But see, so when a parent tells you, don't do this with my child, just respect that. Because it could lead to anything. Like, you don't know, and you don't want to even cause tension. That's that person's child.
Yes.
The mother is protective, especially a first-time mom. Be gentle with them. Because
can we underline, like, first-time mom?
Yes.
There's such a thing as that. There's such a thing as a first-time. Like, that's why I appreciate reasonable, hospital staffs. When you come and they're like, oh, they'll ask, is this your first time? So they are more gentle with you. They answer all your silly questions, because they understand. That's because there's please be patient with first time
and
moms.
we celebrate the good nurses that
help.
Please, those of you that do not get gentle with mothers, it's not nice.
It's not nice.
Your rep in the streets. It's not nice. People are not saying good things.
And people say it to everybody, because I've had friends that didn't understand that phase that I was in. Right? And I mean, you can't see till you experience some things. Like, it's another thing, even if you see someone close to you go through it.
You don't know.
But you actually experience it.
It's different.
You may not understand, but just respect. Just
respect.
Like, see, when someone gives birth to a child, it's no longer about you or how you feel.
Yes.
like forget, oh, she said something I don't like, she was, it's I'm sorry,
Hormones.
maybe it's not about you, don't be angry.
Yes, it's not personal.
It's not personal.
Yeah, it's a delicate stage of your life, and to not have sleep deprivation, then somebody now says you did not call me last week, you did not wish me happy, did I even see your post? Sorry, ma binu mo follow one back. It's busy, and your life just changes. You know how people say sleep before the baby comes. You think they are joking.
As far as I'm concerned, I don't know any other change that can happen in your life.
That can be like that.
That can be like that. The only other thing I've come because I've had friends that relocated, and then when they share the experience, okay, the only thing I can relate to this big change, maybe motherhood, the unexpected, but BT, the moment that child comes out of you,
your life changes.
Your life has changed.
Yes.
It changes in a way you don't even imagine.
You don't even
expect. And it just changes.
My dear, it changes. Now that the way you are saying is now making me, because you don't know, you just see, I just gave birth. Your life has changed. There's no I want to sleep. No, it's when your new boss gives you the time to sleep. And
I think it's okay if you don't. It's going to take you time, right? And I will say it again, new you is going to be born. You don't know who that person is. I assure you. I used to think, because I grew up with a very strict, with parents. So I always assumed I'll be a very strict mom.
Okay.
I won't take nonsense. I was
softest.
I was. See, my baby cannot cry. No, I cannot even baby cry. I can't stand a baby crying. It's not that why I know I'm a big girl. I beg, free me. But at that very stage, that baby cannot cry.
Really?
I cannot stand it.
Really?
And I didn't know.
You didn't know that was in you.
I did.
But it touches a part of you that.
Do you understand? I didn't know I didn't know a lot of things. I didn't know I was going to react. I didn't know how it was going to affect me. Right? So just be graceful to yourself. Make the mistakes.
Good.
Learn from it, and evolve.
Yeah. So this one we'll have to talk. I have 3 things I want to ask you. We'll talk fast.
No problem.
Society. We're talking about breaking free from societal expectations.
Yeah.
And gender roles is one big thing in that topic, in this discourse that we're having. How receptive do you think society is of men taking more chores in the house and women being the providers? Money, when we talk, like bringing more money, do you think it is even okay for a woman to be the one bringing money? And do you think do you welcome the idea that a man can be a stay-at-home dad? I know that's extreme for us here, but do you think it's something that if it works for some people, they can make it happen?
Okay, so it depends on what works for you. Let's start with there. But if you ask me, so I'm a child of God. I can talk about God.
Yes, please.
I'm
please.
a child. I'm a child of God, and I get my standard, my principle from the Word of God.
Yes.
So first thing is, what does the Word of God say about gender roles? What is the role of the man? What is the role of the woman? Man is to provide. Woman, you are the heart, like you said at the beginning. You are you take care of the home. You nurture the home. Yes. And I feel like society has watered down that role simply because you do not provide.
Yes.
As much as providing is important, do you know what your role is?
No.
Do you know the heart is? I mean, literally, if they remove your heart, you are dead.
What is happening? You can get kidney, like 2. You can function on 1 kidney. You can have, God forbid, the person can have 1 leg. But heart is 1 of 1.
Heart is 1.
One of 1.
Your role. So just first of all, so that I don't water down, know that your role. Because I know there are stay-at-home moms, your role is important. Your role is vital. If God thought that He needed to create women, because Adam could have been alone now.
Yes.
God could have chosen, Adam, do it all.
Yes.
But He knew that a woman needed to be born.
Yes.
You are very important. Your role is you are nurturing a child. Destiny is in your hands.
Yes.
Please don't joke with it.
Please.
don't think because you cannot provide or you cannot do.
Yeah, because there's a lot of narrative out there now that like as a woman you're like useless if you cannot be a provider in the home. And
I'm not saying be lazy, because the Bible doesn't ask you to also be lazy.
Yeah, the virtuous woman. That's where I was going to.
Find something doing with your hands, right? And there's no harm in supporting your husband.
There's no.
You should even want to support him. in any way that you can.
Because you are a helpmate.
Yeah, so a helpmate. And your husband too should be able to support you in the home.
In the home.
Right? Okay, maybe your husband is so busy. He may not always have time to help you everything. At least get house help. Get maid.
Yes.
Get nanny.
Please.
Get
this
everything
is important.
that you need.
I have to say this. If you do not want house help as a man in your home, I respect that. I'm all for that. If I could, I would. Please be ready to help in the house. Housework is not, you don't get a break from that. You don't clock in and clock out. You don't, like, it's continuous, especially if there's childcare in the mix.
Yes.
Please support your wife, not because you are not a man, but because it will help her thrive. She will be able to have her mental health. She will be able to have rest sometimes. Schedule these things so that this woman can rest, re-strategize on how to nurture your home, build a, he says a wise woman builds her home. The woman has to chill. God rested. Let's not forget. That's that, even God rested on Sunday. So if that rest period is to come up with new ideas to rejuvenate yourself, please, let's welcome the idea. And they don't have to stay in the house. They help. There are many ways. There can be once in a while deep cleaning. There can be a cook that comes in once in a week. You can even, but there's nothing bad in buying food that from a healthy kitchen per week, just to make sure that she's not, because when a woman is depleted, it's not just, don't just think because she's making it happen. Look at this woman's aura. Is she looking like she's enjoying? If you see she's not enjoying it again, your children's life is literally in
You see this gender role thing, I feel like it should even be just one session, because I can talk and talk and talk. And see, for me, whenever I see a woman that doesn't look nice, she looks too rough, the first thing I think of is her husband. As far as I'm concerned, the husband you are failing. There's something wrong. I don't think of why is one,
because when people see men, when you see men that don't look happy, they'll just say, hey, maybe he's not happy at home. When you look somehow, your husband, like, because you see your wife, babe, you know, kò set o yara run, jẹ́ kí n gbé ẹ jáde, go and do pedicure.
Nice.
Yes, we have to talk about body autonomy. Like, I feel like this society has a lot of say when it has to do with the woman's body. Like, you're just like, you can't be this size. Women come in different shapes and sizes. Exactly. And we should celebrate that. And when motherhood comes into the mix, it changes you, changes your body. And, you know, even unconsciously, you are consuming content that tells you that you have to...
should look, get snapback.
Yeah, did you struggle with that snapback culture?
Okay, so for me, I've always been on the big side. So all my life, I've struggled with, you are big, what's your weight? So I've always had that. But for me, when I had my baby, right, because I know my body went through, right now I have no stretch marks all over my tummy and all. For me, I've carried as a, you know, when you fight a war and now you have marks from that battle. That's how I see it.
And they say you fight lion.
Yes,
you can see these scars. These scars
that's how I see it.
Yes.
I carried a child.
Yes.
I carried a child.
That.
So for me, whatever my body, you know, went through, whatever it is, I for once, and that's because I just saw it as I went through a battle and I won. And these are just the marks I have to carry as a reminder. So when I see it, I'm like, yes, well done.
You celebrate
well done, Oluwaseun. Yes, you did this.
And that's the tip for the mamas.
Yes,
when you have stretch marks or you gain weight in the tummy area or all together, you gave birth to a child, a human being from your belly. That is not your focus. Yes, health-wise, you need to like get back into being fit and all. But
just for health-wise,
the way you look to somebody else shouldn't be the priority. And partners, please do not shame that woman, especially at the beginning. Even if you want her to lose weight, there are ways to
go about it.
Be sensitive, be kind.
Even people, society. I remember when they wanted to press my tummy, someone told my husband, let them do it so that you like her body. Once I like my wife's body as it is, there's nothing wrong. The body is okay.
Let's leave
the body is okay. Thank you. I'm not complaining.
If you are
Abby, because I was saying, I see your wife.
And
you are even wicked. Do you want
why are you telling the man?
Do you want to
give him another? Yes, nah.
Do you want to give him another idea?
Yes, nah.
I don't understand.
Yes, nah, but they will never tell the woman when the husband is getting
Thank you.
From
you are taking care of you.
Like, oh my God, this woman is a good wife. I beg. I beg. Yeah. Sheol. I feel like if we continue, we won't stop.
Honestly.
So, for stopping sake, let us end on this note, I had a wonderful discussion with you. And cheers to being an alpha mom. We have water. It's not coffee, but we'll make do.
Are you ready? Let it bounce.